back to the channel. Standing here with my little mic because I feel like you guys can't hear me. Anyway, if you watched my last video, then you know I was having a tag sale for Memorial Day weekend, and I had a huge turnout. With the money that I made at the tag sale, I did purchase some new items for my home. I'm still tinkering, toying, and thinking about changing the channel name. But for now, everything is going to stay the same. I don't want to make a change that isn't right or doesn't feel good to me. And then 2 months from now, I'm going to change it again. I apologize that I haven't been here. I appreciate you for coming back all the time and allowing me to share my ideas and my crazy at the same time. So enough talking. Let's get on to this video. I hope you all get a lot of inspiration from this, maybe some new ideas, maybe some ideas you've already seen, but inspiration nonetheless. When we first bought our home, I thought that I would be hosting tons of family dinners. So naturally, I bought a huge table that never really fit the space. But like I said, I thought I'd be the hub for every holiday, birthday, Tuesday, whatever. Spoiler alert, our daughters have husbands, kids, and tables of their own. So as it turns out, we really only gather for some holidays. So now it's just my husband and me sitting at this giant table every night, like we're at opposite ends of this corporate board meeting. And I'm not kidding when I say that I was about 2 dinners away from buying walkie-talkies just to pass the salt. I've been thinking about getting a round table for a long time. Literally went down a rabbit hole looking for a table online, but everything was so expensive. Then one day, as if the algorithm took pity on me, this table popped up on Facebook Marketplace. It was the perfect size for my dining room, 48 inches. It came with a leaf, extendable to 72 inches, which would be perfect when we did have those family dinners once a year. They were selling it for $30, and the listing said it was an Ethan Allen table, so I ran to go pick it up. But to my surprise, when we actually got it home, it was a Pottery Barn table, and it's still on their website. It's on sale for $18.99, but originally $2,000. I felt like I hit the lotto. So I have some tools, some average DIY skills, and just enough delusion to believe that I can turn this into the table of my dreams. I started by giving the base a good cleaning. Lovingly handed it to my husband, aka my unpaid labor, so that he could take the base of the table apart. I figured sanding each piece separately, I could really get in there and do a good job. Now, I don't know a lot about a lot of things, but I do know I didn't want to start too aggressively. I wasn't sure if the table was 100% real wood or if it had some veneer. So I started with a 120 grit sanding pad. It's a medium grit option, which is a really good starting point if you're unsure of what grit to use. The higher the number, the finer the grit. The lower the number, the coarser the grit. But you already knew that. People that watch me are very smart. I ordered some flexible sponge attachments from Amazon to attach to my orbital sander. These sponges make it so easy to get into those curved areas without distorting the shape of the wood, which can happen if you use a regular sanding pad. 1000% recommend these, and I'll leave a link in the description box. I used my orbital sander for most of the sanding, but I also went in by hand for some of those hard to reach areas. Labor of love, I tell you. The 120 grit was doing an okay job, but it was taking such a long time and I was getting tired. So I went down to an 80 grit, which worked much better, and I would see much more progress in a shorter amount of time. Oh boy. Hi guys. So I'm sitting at the foot of my stairs in my basement contemplating life. Tomorrow it'll be a week that I started the sanding. I have off today, I have to work tomorrow, so I figured I would start on the tabletop. Only problem is I'm home alone and I have to get this huge 48-inch tabletop on top of something so that I can then sand it easier. I don't want to be sanding on the floor. At my age, it's not a good idea. I have a table. I'm going to try to take it outside and then place the tabletop on top of the table. Now I have a little issue when it comes to bees. So I'm trying to decide if I really want to do this while my husband Peter's not home, or if I want to wait for him and maybe do this on Sunday. But I really do want to get this done. If I have a plan in mind, then I want to go ahead and just execute it. So we'll see how that goes. Come on. I'm going to try. I didn't film it, but after sanding, or after the initial sand, I went over all of the pieces with a 220 grit sanding pad just to smooth everything out. Wiped everything down with a tack cloth to remove any of the dust particles because you don't want to get that into your stain. Now, for the first time ever, I'm trying this Minwax Fruitwood semi-transparent oil-based stain. That was a mouthful. It's supposed to be a nice, warm, medium brown color and sounds promising, so we'll see. But before diving into the staining, I wanted to try this new stain with and without a pre-stain conditioner. I tried it on one of the smaller pieces of the base just to see how I would like it. The side where I used the pre-stain looks as if I didn't use stain at all. It was much lighter. So I decided to skip it and go straight to staining. Brushing the stain on and then removing it after a few minutes to remove any of the excess stain. While letting everything dry for the next 24 hours, I decided to work on this lamp. I picked up a pair of these for $5 when I was thrifting a few years ago. This one, as opposed to its sister, has had a few makeovers, quite a few of them throughout the years. Today may be its last one. I'm not sure how many more it can handle. Wanting to add more black accents to my home, I spray painted this one with Rust-Oleum's Canyon Black spray paint in the satin finish. Once dry, I went in with this Krylon triple thick crystal clear glaze. I wanted to give it that glossy glaze look that's been trending all over the internet lately. I've always loved glazed pottery and I have a few pieces in my collection. So this was a fun, easy, and inexpensive way to tie that into my space. After applying the glaze, I let it dry for a day, and I'll share the finished look at the end with my reveal. The table is assembled and up in our dining room. Seeing all the pieces back together again after all the work was very satisfying. But once it was in the space, something felt off. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I also wasn't completely in love. I felt like it dried much lighter than it went on. It just wasn't what I expected. So I remembered seeing a paint wash technique on Instagram and I decided to give it a try. I used mineral paint in the color Woodwick by Fusion. I mixed 1 part paint to 2 parts water. You could use a brush for this, but I decided to use a piece of my husband's t-shirt. It was an old one, I think. To apply it, I would dip it in the water and paint mixture, wipe it on, and with a dry cloth, wipe it off. I feel like doing this gave the wood a slightly different tone. A bit softer, more muted. It's hard to explain exactly, but once I did it, I liked the tone much better. I sealed the entire table with Varathane's polyurethane in the matte finish. I wanted a finish that would protect the wood but still keep that natural look without any shine. I applied 3 coats using a brush, letting each one dry fully before moving on to the next. Between coats, I lightly sanded with a 220 grit sanding sponge, then wiped off the dust and repeated the process. It was a little time consuming, but totally worth it. The finish feels super smooth and it still lets the wood grain show through without looking, overly glossy or heavy. Before I share the reveal, I wanted to show you a few things that I did to the room to bring in some extra warmth and coziness, making it look more inviting overall. I have cellular blinds on all the windows in my house. In the dining room, I have a large one that covers the sliding doors to the deck. But since it matches the wall color, it honestly just disappeared. Didn't really add anything to the space. I was over it. But I'd been eyeing these bamboo shades from 2 Pages for a while now. So when they reached out to me, you have to know, I almost fainted. They gifted me the blinds of my literal dreams. The first thing I can tell you about these blinds that I noticed was how easy it was to install them. But what really impressed me was the quality. Simply incredible, fully customizable. You can choose so many options, from lined to unlined, blackout, or privacy lining, which is what I chose, which lets in about 50 to 75% of light, but still give me the perfect amount of privacy. You can even add edge binding. I chose mine without for a more natural look. The texture, the color, the way they instantly added warmth and style to the space is exactly what this room needed. Are there cheaper blinds out there? Of course, but these are an investment in the best way. They look and feel high-end and truly brought the space to life. I'll leave all of the details linked down in my description box, and a huge, huge thank you to 2 Pages for sending me these absolutely stunning blinds. A few more little touches that I added just to really pull the whole look together. There was supposed to be some footage of my husband and I installing this gorgeous antique brass picture light that I bought from Amazon, but let's just say things didn't quite go as planned. Whenever we take on a project together, I'm telling you, it turns into an unintentional reality show. For real. So that footage didn't exactly make the cut. Anyway, the light is beautiful, no hard wiring required, and it's remote controlled. I went with brass instead of black as a little nod to the brushed brass accents in our kitchen. I feel like mixing up the metals keeps things feeling a little more intentional and pulled together, in my humble opinion. Next up, something small but mighty. I added these little mini shades to our dining room chandelier. I found these on Amazon and they came in a box of 10, which is great because my chandelier has 8 lights. I was really happy considering the fact that they are affordable and I can never find these in an 8 count, only in a 6. Not only do they help soften the lighting, but they also add such a cozy layered look to the space. And finally, one more thing I added to the dining room as part of this refresh is this beautiful round jute rug that I found during Wayfair's Way Day sale. I love how it brings in more of that natural texture. It really warms up the space and gives it such a cozy, grounded feel. A round rug under a round table just makes sense in my opinion. And I love that it ties everything together in a soft, subtle way. It helps define the dining area without making it feel too formal, and overall just adds so much character to the room. Now, I did buy an 8-foot round, which is what I found online was perfect for a 48-inch table. I would have liked it just a little bit bigger, but they don't come in half sizes, and the 9-foot would have been too big for the space. But I love it so much. It's surprisingly soft and so, so beautiful. I am in love with this table. It still blows my mind that it was only $30. There's finally room to move around comfortably, and it's completely changed how the space functions. I really love the worn-in, rustic look this table is giving. For me personally, there's a certain charm in that aged and imperfect finish. And this is honestly why I love thrifting and buying secondhand so much. It's not just about saving money, though that's definitely a perk. It's about finding hidden gems, giving things a second life, and making your home uniquely yours in the process. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you had a good time. I also hope, I know I have a lot of hopes, but I also hope this video inspired you to look at secondhand finds in a different light, or maybe even take on a project of your own. Once again, a huge thank you to 2Pages for these incredible blinds. I'll leave all the links, all the information in my description box. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I hope to see you in the next one.